Hello, my name is Exabu, and this is Unity of Command 2 Dash to Berlin mission on hard. 3, 2, 1. Alright, I haven't completed the entirety of Victory in the West campaign on hard. I can say with some authority that this is the most difficult mission of the entire campaign. If it's not, it's easily like in the top 3. But I have had a lot of trouble, which is saying something given my experience with the game, given my experience playing it on hard and in this campaign. And so it can cause a lot of trouble, and I already mentioned it in my cracking video that this is like this perfect combination of everything that is difficult about Unity of Command 2. It's your force, as you can see, is not that big, and you don't get anything else. You have to survive on what you're provided with, even though it's likely that some of these troops will be pretty experienced and elites and well equipped with specialist steps. And given the amount of my prestige, I'm assuming, I actually don't remember, I'm assuming that I had plenty of prestige to actually buy specialist steps. But still, it's just like this, like a stopgap solution. It doesn't eliminate the problem of the fact that you don't have too many troops. And by the way, that tank going past Erfurt and clearing that bridge is critical to winning this mission. You really need to do it, and I'm getting reasonably lucky, so I'm repairing the bridge. Actually, I don't get pretty lucky here, because normally it's a good idea to repair that bridge on turn 1. I'll kick those Germans out. It may take some losses, but it's a better idea to do that. But on the other hand, I am doing really well clearing the railway between Kassel and Erfurt, and it's good. It's good. I'm doing pretty well. And actually, I'm happy to say that, and as you can see, this is the second problem. The Germans are getting reinforcements, and those infantry divisions are not the end of it, unfortunately. And those, holy crap, they're veterans. And so, it's not just the German reinforcements. It's also, all those blown bridges, and the AA loves blowing bridges. And it's also the supply situation, which is not great. You can improve it, and one of the bits is actually clearing that railway between Kassel and ultimately Magdeburg. But Magdeburg is very difficult in terms of how you can supply it. And so, turn 3, I'm continuing to clear the area, clearing the railway, and I'm gradually approaching Leipzig. Yes, so I need to approach Magdeburg, and I need to take it by turn 6, which is way too late. You need to do it earlier. And so right now, given that I have the railway, I actually can set up a supply hub leading from that railway on the road, right? So exactly what I've done right now. And so I'll move US 3rd to that supply hub, which is like the optimum location. If your HQ, 3rd Army HQ, is well experienced, you've upgraded a lot, so it's good. You're pretty much not going to have to move it until very, very late in the mission, so the range is going to be enough. And so, as you can see, I'm doing pretty well on Leipzig. I think I took it on turn 5. We'll see how it goes. But it's also worth, in Leipzig, it's also worth approaching it from that road bridge, not just Gera. It's because it's a river in Gera, and it's, as you can see, I'm sending my infantry to approach that bridge, so I will repair it this turn. And I'm also sending a bunch of infantry, wherever it goes. Obviously, the motorization ability is critical. It's critical in succeeding in this mission. No. Interesting. So, I was hoping I would guess, I'm betting I was hoping I would guess a retreat, but no dice. And here's the big problem. The Germans get insane reinforcements. By the way, here I got lucky with Magdeburg, so the Germans decided to send a mechanized division and effectively exposed it. So to destroying them, because they don't have any fortifications, and I will kill them. And as you can see, those tank divisions, they have every capability of killing you in this mission. So on the one hand, they can deal a significant blow to your tank divisions. That's not nothing. And yeah, and I'm just rushing. As you can see, I'm accepting losses, but I need, like, it's turn 5. It's not the deadline, but it's pretty much the last moment you have to take Magdeburg. Even though I will be somewhat, but it's a bit cheeky, and even though you'll see that I slightly overstretched myself, I actually left Magdeburg empty, hoping that the enemy would, like, send someone into Magdeburg and I would kill them, and that's exactly what happened, even though I kind of got into a little bit of trouble there, as you will see. So Leipzig is mine on turn 5, and, like, get Leipzig as soon as possible, because it's a critical railway junction, and it's like absolutely indispensable in securing your supply. All right, I'm gradually clearing stuff up, and let's see what the Germans do. Actually, it wasn't planned. It was a mistake, but I'm happy that I managed to exploit that mistake. So they've sent one of their tank divisions in there, and your goal here is to damage these tank divisions as much as possible, because if, like, some point the AI will return them to Berlin. And if they get fortified inside Berlin, especially in those objectives, you're screwed. It's pretty much, you're not going to have the time to kick them out. They're way too well protected, way too powerful. It's just not going to happen. So let's look at what I did. So I attacked Magdeburg. That tank is reasonably. Oh, city in ruins. What am I gonna do? This is terrible. So what I did was send a paratrooper division in there. So if you don't know, in Wittenberg you get a paratrooper division, you have a paratrooper card, and so I sent my old Polish paratrooper brigades in there. So because I knew that there would be a replacement, so this is my rule. Even though I kind of used the 101st paratrooper division later in this mission, do everything, because this is the last mission in the conference, so you're not losing the card, right? And so, yeah, I generally I consider this to be a legit use of a card. I try not to use cards unless I get a replacement on the same mission. And so this is definitely a case in point. So I think I did something like that in the what was the name of this, Kirch Landings in Moscow 41. You get a paratrooper mission, paratrooper card there, and like sending those paratroopers immediately into a particular part of the map is, like, makes your life so much easier. So I did it. Like, I actually lost that card in the playthrough that I used for my cracking videos. And by the way, taking that little town, which I've taken right now, is critical because it connects Leipzig to Magdeburg, and the AI knows that, and it's relatively difficult to take and clear. But now, as you can see, so the railway is established. I don't have to worry about supplying Magdeburg, and I can pretty comfortably advance towards Wittenberg, which I also mention that in my explanation in cracking. The turn 11 deadline is way too late. If you take it on turn 11, you're way too late to take everything else, because Wittenberg is relatively easy. You can easily approach it from all sides. You can envelop it. It's no problem. So there's no. It's not going to take you a long time to take it. Like, one turn is enough if you're in position, right? In position for set piece attacks. With Potsdam and Zossen, and pretty much everything else, it can be a 2-turn affair. And if you take Wittenberg on turn 11, it's not going to happen. It's way too late. You're not going to have time or forces to do Wittenberg and Potsdam and Zossen at the same time. You're not going to have enough forces. And so I think I took Wittenberg on turn 9 in this one, so it was a little cheeky move by the AI, which I had to clear. Actually, also a mistake that I made. But this turn, I'm enveloping Wittenberg, and next turn I will get infantry in position, and will have infantry in position, and will be able to actually take the town. Interestingly, so I don't get infantry in position. No, I think that's... Yes, yes. So I have one infantry division in position to actually set piece attack Wittenberg, and I will use it. Okay, let's see what the Germans do. But this is going pretty well. I've destroyed one of the 3 tank divisions. I get lucky. I get lucky here. So the other tank division, it has been damaged. So that division that sits in Berlin, and it's taking a defensive position in a place that I don't care about. So it's not an objective, which is good. And this tank division is already vulnerable, and I'm gonna destroy it, as it seems. Or effectively destroy it. And this is, by the way, the nastiest one with the heavy tanks. So it's gonna die. Yeah, excellent. And this is like, okay, this situation around Berlin is more or less, this looks like something that you can manage and take all of the objectives. It's still not super easy, but this is virtually the perfect situation. Look of what a perfect situation would look like. Look of it's early in the morning, so let me just get slightly more awake, right? Okay, so yeah, so I'm gradually advancing. As you can see, my troops are pretty weak already, and you don't get any reinforcements. You actually get a few reinforcements, like just steps to give your troops later in the mission. So it's not horrible, but you don't get any additional divisions, and it's painful. So yeah, and as far as I remember, yes. So right now it's turn 10. You can already push towards Potsdam and clear the area around Sossen, so you can approach it. As you can see, Sossen is a pretty tough, you can imagine, it's a pretty tough objective because it's got engineers, it's got elite defenders, it's full fortifications, and it's in a forest. Thankfully, at least, you're not gonna turn forest into ruin, so you can easily use suppressive fire and planes without any worries. But at the same time, it's horrible. And it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough and take some losses on my side still. Despite that, like, this unit doesn't look like a lot, like just 3 steps, but it's got everything else and it's just working. With Potsdam, yes, as you can see, it takes me some time before I can reach Potsdam. And now, yeah, I decided to really, like, because it went into ruins. And Potsdam, I hope it, like, the palace did not go to ruin. So the Potsdam, yeah, so I decided to wait for turn 12 with Potsdam, because it went turned into ruins. I used and here's me using, by the way, the 101st Airborne Division. So in Potsdam, I just decided to completely suppress them first with feint attacks. I still have the time, so I decided it made sense. And by the way, I got lucky with Treptow as well, so no decent defenders there. And let's see what the Germans do. They're not going to do too much, or they're pretty much static, just installing all of the desperate defensive stuff. And so now it's the deadline for Potsdam. So I've taken Pankov, which is also great. So this is actually, it's a good idea to send all of those paratroopers that you can muster onto the other bank of the river so that you can clear it. Because also, it's one of the, like, pretty much all of the railways feeding Berlin are on the other side of the Spree, right? So right now, currently, you've seen that infantry division actually moving into the railway. That's the last railway feeding Berlin. So all of the guys inside now are blocked. So they're not getting any supplies. So now I can wait. I can comfortably wait and not attack for 2 turns. Until all of that infantry runs out of supply, or at least gets weakened, so I can actually spend these 2 turns doing feint attacks on that infantry, and then, well, effectively take the city, which is what I'm doing right now. I really don't need to attack, even though I feel I will, or maybe not. And here's me being just cautious about these tanks. They still can attack, but they haven't, so, like, it's pointless. And right now, I'm just positioning myself for the last assault. I suspect that I didn't have too many command points at this point because I lost a bunch of troops, and with the Allies, unfortunately, you don't have the Soviet ability to not care about these stragglers. So with the Soviets in Moscow 41, if you don't know, you can actually get Force Pull 3, level 3 ability, and you just don't lose any command points when you capture stragglers, when you get your own stragglers, right? And so here's me virtually kicking these guys out. That actually is a bit cheeky and somewhat dangerous, because that mechanized division, I realized that mechanized division actually can retreat into Berlin, and it could have probably screwed with me, probably not. Alright, so this is it for the mission. I've effectively cleared the map and, yeah, taken the objectives. It does take a bit of luck, but this is the end of the footage. Thank you for watching, listening, and hopefully commenting, liking, and until next time, until next mission. Cheers.